there was also a thought process that the Kerala model of development, with its emphasis on social sector, education, health, matrices, was that what mattered? I wanted to ask Mr. Chandrasekhar and give me a broad reflection of, from my point of view, I thought that this works at two levels. One is it points out the deficiencies of the Kerala development model which need to be addressed, and the need to sort of unleash the potential of the market.
There are some areas of real development and we can learn lessons. Here also I was involved in some way Technopark. And people used to tell me this is a fraud. Who is going to come to Dubai? Now, after some time, when from Delhi I came here, I couldn't believe it. What was it like? I mean, I have seen it being constructed. We brought in this plug and play concept into industry, and that worked. It didn't work equally well in other places. It is now catching up. Calicut is still not working, I think. Cochin Info Park is growing. It's good. Thing is, people are looking for infrastructure at a reasonable price with a certain amount of certainty.
Sir has been saying about our Technopark. I was involved in Technopark as IT secretary for 2 times. When I first began, only this was there, Info Park just was coming, 2004. I went to Bangalore to bring in private IT park developers. I said, why don't you come and start similar thing? He says, the biggest problem he said is, you do allow that mixed use. We actually develop a park by having an integrated park with multi-use. We have hospitals, we have schools, we have shopping malls, hotels and IT buildings, office building all together. We require 20-25 acres of land. You don't allow that. Number one. Second problem is, you have a government sector to compete. I actually demand, let's say, 30 rupees per square feet. You have a Technopark which give at 25. How do I compete? So the Technopark Info Park model of development has blocked the IT development in Kerala. We have not allowed private people to create park. No other state has done. Only Tamil Nadu has done 2 towers called Tidal Park. But when the IT boom was happening, we didn't have enough engineers here. That is another problem. You instead, most of them wanted to go to Bangalore and Chennai. Because I faced requests from parents saying that as IT secretary, I should request the TCS people to get me posted in Bangalore because where they are from, you can go to America. The Kerala center is a new center in TCS. So if you get posted here, our service mates have demanded, I made it done for them, getting them posted in Bangalore so that they can go to America. So our parents, youngsters also not interested in working in Kerala those days. We were not demanding this. When we tried to bring smart city, the Dubai smart city was done with this purpose. As a city where you have hotels, you have housing, you have everything, we still have not allowed them housing. These are all the desirable things where we were involved and couldn't get done.
Probably during my service time, apart from Sial, of course, was there at the beginning of it, but then Kochi Petro, and this is a big, extremely big infrastructure project to come. But you find that after the Village experience, not many PPPs got done. And my personal view is that the government sort of relapsed into big-time borrowing and financing infrastructure from there. How do you see that? And how do you advise the state to go from the experience of Village?
I agree completely with you. The point is that if we have that mindset, we are not going to change. Now, Vizhinjam, again for 20 years, they have been running around not finding a solution. You needed to find even at the last minute. But for the courage of Mohan Gandhi, it would not have gone through because there was only one tender. Single bid. And he accepted that. Now, that kind of a mindset for change has to be there. Again, when we had this airport, which is actually a central airport under the Airport Authority of India, they wanted to give it to Adani. And now, after Adani has taken over, some development has taken place. But we objected. We very strongly objected. The Cochin Port, the Cochin Airport, it was of course a great example of Koreans. Fantastic work. He's done a tremendous job over 18 years, but it took 18 years to build it. To build that, it would have been done much faster if we had thought in terms of a public-private partnership. If you want public-private partnership, what you need is identify the area. First of all, the mindset change is required. We don't have enough money, let us bring in somebody who has money and let's work together. Vizhinjam, as you can see, first phase we had to put in money. 20% government of Kerala put in, 20% government of India put in, 40%. But the second and third phases, they are entirely funding on their own. So this is going to be a very major port. 8 years have elapsed. The original thought was 3 years, it is now 8 years. And during these 8 years, we have not built roads, the proper connecting road, we have not built a railway line. If these two had also been available, by this time, our growth trajectory would have been higher. So there are big blocks coming, which unless there is an overall change of mindset, it is not going to succeed. That is, and I'm not blaming any particular political party or any political formation, no. Everybody has to change. As I myself said earlier, and sometimes fear of the other formation prevents the one formation from functioning. But this is something which collectively we have to work on and collectively create a mindset for, let us not think of ourselves as poor people who can become rich only if we go to Dubai. Let us think of ourselves as people who can be rich here in this state. It is happening to a great extent. For example, in certain sectors, like you see the health sector, for example, you find a lot of hospitals which are coming up, good, strong hospitals. A lot of money is flowing in from the US and other places, from pension funds, and it's developing. But they are also struggling because of all the regulations that we have built around them. It could have built up, we could have gone up much further, and medical tourism could have been one of the big areas of growth in Kerala. We are doing well again in tourism. But here again, if you look at tourism in Kerala, we have a lot of resorts here and there. But I'm sure most of my colleagues have gone to tourism centers abroad. You can see that's a whole different kind of a world that you're developing. It's once you go there are so many things to do. We don't have that. We have done well in tourism, primarily by projecting Kerala. And we're getting a lot of tourists who want peace, who want to be, who find it relaxing to be in a place where there's not too much of a crowd.
The main focus is on marketing. So the first thing that we understood is that you create some myth around that and then promote this. And that is how this God's own country came. Is it God's own country? Of course it is. Is it really? No.